And when you realize that we're one consciousness and that we can come together in harmony and love, then all of a sudden you can start to appreciate and value people and be less furious about their situation and more curious about their wound.
Yep.
And less judgmental, because you're like, oh, man, all these people are playing out different roles.
Yep.
I'm a spiritual chiropractor.
My friends call me the real life Care Bear.
Talk it out. Suckers. What a big episode this is a big episode. This is episode 20, which marks the end of something and the beginning of something at the same time.
Yep.
Which is really all what life is about. Beginning and end.
Beginning and ending, yeah.
Yeah.
Every ending comes with a beginning. Closing time. Yeah. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
I'm sorry we did that too. So episode 20, this episode doesn't really have much structure because we're moving to a new format. It will be the last time that we will be posting on YouTube. So if you're listening to us on Spotify or any of our other podcasts, Apple, whatever it is, music, keep doing that.
Yeah. You might not get to hear both of us together for a little bit.
You will see this mug the same way. Our YouTube channel is going into another direction, but I hope you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. But
absolutely,
please stay tuned to our podcast because we've decided to potentially break up for a bit. Andrew and I decided we're going to do interviews, and we want to talk to other people that have been impacted or see our business and create a little bit more diversity. And unless so you don't get bored of hearing us speak for the rest of our lives, because we're bored of each other now. We'll come back for every.
We're running out. Basically, what happened is we ran out of stuff to say. So we're like,
I got nothing.
Let's see what other people have to say.
What do you think about what it is? But truthfully, we have lots of subjects. We'll be getting back together for every count, 5 count. So it'll be 25, 30. That's our intent anyways. We'll see how that plays out. And in between will be other people. So that's kind of fun. I thought today we could talk a little bit about just life a little bit and experiences.
Yeah.
And how things happen for us and don't happen for us and anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Just anything at all. Well, what's been happening? What has happened for you, I guess, lately that you were thinking of doing that?
Well, we've been with.
That's how I feel tonight.
That's how I feel. Yeah, let's start over with that whole sentence, but not really. I witness other people, and comparison creates chaos. And we've never got into this business to be famous or rich. And I laugh because we're killing it. We do want to make a difference in people's lives. Like, we really got into this for the right reasons, and we've done everything people said. We created this podcast not because we care about it.
Yep.
We did this for our clients. We hope you're enjoying it. Anyone who listens to it, we are happy to share it. But there's a part of me that's like, man, I want our work to be seen the same. Why is it that what's his face? Theo Vaughn can be like, my favorite weed is cocaine.
And it goes viral.
People think it's awesome. And then we're like, hey, for the last 4 years, we've shared an understanding that has saved lives and has shifted people towards something important. I don't care about like millions of followers, but it would be very beneficial if people saw the work that we're doing as seriously as we did and wanted to either be part of it or help it. And many people do. We're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet. A large percentage of them, or 7 billion, whatever it is now, but there's a large percentage of them that are unhappy. And we hear it all the time. As soon as you step in social media, which we avoided.
Yeah.
We've avoided social media because we thought this is an unhealthy spot. It's what everyone else is doing. And people say, well, it's almost a necessary evil. And that's where people are struggling. So we put it out there. And I watch people who are like, you know what the best way to be healthy is be positive and do yoga and ice baths. And you're like, okay, that's a cool pathway.
Great stuff. It's pathway. It's great stuff.
As long as when you're in a crisis in your life and your parents have passed away, you can jump into an ice tub and meditate. That's I mean, it's not always the right solution. And I think you take yourself with you wherever you go. And if that's true, knowing that you're not your thinking and showing up in a place of awakening.
Yep.
Because the energy that we are is so important.
Yeah, we were just talking about that the other day about how you saw a video or something on it, but the difference between meditations, that there's meditation where you can go into meditation and deliberately meditate.
Yep.
And then there's living in a meditative state.
Yes.
Where you understand what you are and you're not living from this thing, but you're showing up in presence and your thoughts don't control the way that you live your life.
I also heard a woman talk that she lost her hearing, but there was a part of her that could sense people beyond what they said anyways.
Right.
And she was pointing out, and Brent said it to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, when people, she said, I would see things in people that they never said because of the vibration where they are energetically behind it. And I'm like, that's what we teach people to do.
Exactly.
We teach people to be that so that people can feel the right version of them versus the mask and the story and the judgment and the things that your brain does. And we also help you see it in other people.
Yep.
Because it's hard. Once you figure out yourself, you still have to navigate a bunch of egos and identities, and you're like, oh, this is... And when you realize that we're one consciousness and that we can come together in harmony and love, then all of a sudden you can start to appreciate and value people and be less furious about their situation and more curious about their wound.
Yep.
And less judgmental, because you're like, oh, man, all these people are playing out different roles.
Yep.
Different parts of their story.
Yep.
And you don't make it about you.
Yeah, and you can take the time to see them for where they're really at instead of creating judgment against them.
But as soon as I feel like sometimes because of who we are, and like anyone who's trying to share a message, people think we're perfect, or we're lecturing them. It's like, we can't do what? And so we considered part of our journey and going back to the way before we used to practice this, and just becoming straight thinking and positivity / negativity and speaking our thoughts as the concept of being lost in space, a lost sheep versus a black sheep.
Yeah, it's true. How many times have you heard this statement? You're a life coach, you should know better.
Yeah, or some variation.
Or some variation of that, right?
Yeah, that we have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I can't take advice from someone who doesn't have their life together. Well, we do have our lives together is not the right word. I think people have a judgment like your life has to be perfect, or we think our lives are perfect, or we have it figured out, as that guy said to you. Like, oh, there's a life coach, you have your life figured out. You're like, we don't have it figured out our whole life, because you can't solve life.
Yeah.
But you can have a tool that will allow you some easier.
But we've accepted that. But we've accepted we don't have it figured out, and we're never going to.
A machete doesn't help you solve the jungle, but it helps you get through the rough patches.
Yeah.
Like, we have a tool to navigate with, and everything else out there that you are falling in love with, whether it's the things we value from a distance and that we've participated in, whether it's meditation, ice baths, whatever you're doing out there that's on the outside of you, yoga, whatever. The retreats, those are great. They're great tools to prime the pump, but when we help guide people to why does that work? Here's the efficiency. It's you. Yeah. You are the tool.
You're such a tool.
Yeah, and that life is not to be solved, but to be experienced. And we go through rough patches. And you and I, over the last couple of weeks, have both had curveballs thrown at us. Mm-hmm. And we could go, and there's a moment we have emotions, like every human, and we tell people that. And we get frustrated, we kick rocks. And then we get back to it not by forcing our thinking, but by experiencing and using the same tool. But I started to think that to become more relatable, that we should be worse people.
Or just, you talked about the idea of just not.
You're just giving into thinking.
Yeah, just not.
It's so easy.
Not letting your thinking settle and just continue to attaching to it and giving into whatever the thoughts say. And
what was my fear, though?
The fear is that you go into a really dark place and you may end up wanting to kill yourself again.
Yeah, I feel like the Hulk sometimes, meaning for many people, it's always there. Mm-hmm. Like, if I wanted to, I could be that part of me by feeding that part of me.
Yep.
And it'd be scary because it's a dark spot and it's not healthy. Mm-hmm. And we do deal with that dark spot, but it doesn't consume you.
Yeah.
And for many people, it consumes them, and it's horrible to watch. And our mission isn't to be rich or famous. I mean, we all have to make a living, and we all want to be influential to make a difference, because that kind of influence or social currency.
Yep.
Allows you to reach further and help more people faster. And we would love more help.
Which is the only reason we've decided to try and create that.
Yeah, this podcast is all about that. It was asked for by clients. We would deliver. We want to give people what they need to get to the understanding, because there's only two of us, and we're slowly growing as we build. And I mean, there's only two of us for the company. That's right. There's only two of us in the world. there's only two of us, and we're looking. But we need your help, right? Because there isn't only two of us. There's many black sheep out there. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of people who are lost in a world of fear and anger and judgment. And if you're one of those people, or you have been, and you found clarity on your own, and our message resonates with you, we want to meet you, because if you have a message similar, whatever, we want to grow that out and promote it. But if you're telling people the answer is outside of them, and they're thinking positively or something else, and that's the main answer, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And it's unhealthy and dangerous, because people can't access that stuff, one. Secondly, you're going to lead them to a place of hope. Yeah. And when they start losing hope is when we start losing people.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you know somebody that's going through a hard time and is looking, is actually searching.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen people that commit to their pain and don't want to get out of it. But if you know somebody, or you yourself are searching for something to get you out of the suffering that you've been experiencing your whole life, or whatever section of your life you're in right now, reach out to us so we can have a conversation.
Yeah, come see. We'll have one meeting with us on us, and then if you think it's stupid, we'd love to hear back from that.
Yeah.
But no one's had time with us and hasn't improved their lives to some extent.
Yeah, we just talked to a couple the other day that wanted to come in to talk to us. After one meeting, they've spent a week feeling better. And we're like, well, if you're not going to hire us full time and you don't want to work with us on a consistent basis, well, then go and write a testimony for us and let people know that after one meeting, things started to turn around for you.
And people are afraid of that, and I get it. I mean, change is scary. And one of the reasons I think that stuff like this doesn't take off for every single person is because a lot of people tell you, the problem's there, it's society, the problem is a label of some diagnosis, or people aren't nice to you or accepting of you. But when you realize that you can be the change in your life, and you start to understand that being isn't just trying harder, it's coming from a place of being. And when you can practice that and learn how to guide you to that, and it becomes part of your regular experience, and you wake up from this illusion that's been created, then all of a sudden you have another option in living life full. But it's scary, because what have you tried that hasn't worked? And why not try something different?
Yeah. We were just talking to a friend about that the other night, and I would say that is the go. If you're going to try stuff, go try it all in. Because that's one thing I will say. Like, all of the things that I've tried, I went all in on it, because I was like, I'm looking for something to make me feel better. And so I went all in, and that's how I can tell you it isn't sustainable. And not that it doesn't work for a moment, it does for a moment.
Lots of Band-Aid solutions.
But it's a Band-Aid solution.
And it's better than nothing. We're glad you're searching. We're glad you're trying. Yeah. And that's the problem, is that we want you to know that we're not coming from a place of perfection. We're coming from a place of experiencing it and then witnessing it in others. And I remember when somebody we care about said, "Hey, do you think you have God complex?" And I was like, I'm open to that feedback. What makes you think that? It's like, you seem so sure of yourself.
Yeah.
Have we told this story before?
No.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, when I first started helping people with this understanding that was gifted to us, and I was the first, I mean, obviously, it occurs for you.
Yep.
You put it into practice every day. You understand it. And I was like, when I woke up, life changed. Energetically, my whole life shifted. You witnessed it in me. I witnessed it in you. We witnessed it in a few others. And so when I got my first client in that understanding, I was like, wow, maybe I got lucky. And then we saw like a dozen, and we're like, wow, there might be something to this. And after nearly 100 people in the past 4 years, not mentioning big, like individual, between the two of us, and half those giving us 5-star reviews and the other half just being so happy they never think of it because we don't ask really. We have a few people that it doesn't work for because they want to live in identity, but it's such a small number that it's like, who am I going to listen to? The 98% who come to me and say, it's been 6 months since I've talked to you. My life is amazing. Things are bad in my life on paper, but oh my gosh, I'm happy, which is what we're experiencing in our lives. Or the 2% that are like, yeah, but you know what? Like, money's the answer, and identity's the answer, and fear's the answer. Like, okay, it doesn't seem to be working out for you.
I haven't got all the money I want. I haven't got all the things I want.
I need more stuff.
I didn't get my new car like I wanted.
I have gratitude for my car, my house, and okay, so. Remember that video is going around.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I have gratitude for all the things on the outside.
I get to drive my car to work, and I get to brush my teeth with this toothbrush, and I get to live in this really nice house, and I get to sleep in these nice sheets. And it's like all of these things on the outside, then it's like...
I was like, you should replace the word gratitude with privilege.
Yeah.
Like, that's all she's done is replace it with the concept of it's a privilege, but that's on the outside. So what if you don't have that privilege in life? You don't have anything to be gratitude for.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do we go to third world country on vacation? You meet people like they're so happy. I'm like, because they live in gratitude instead of consumption of a belief that gratitude is happening because they have a better car or they have a job. I'm not saying you can't feel appreciative for that.
Yeah.
But be gratitude. Don't list it off like it's a checklist of accomplishments.
Yep.
And then wonder why our first world country is suffering.
Yep. And that's, you watch some people go through that. I had a client that, she had a family, 4 kids, and her husband left her. She had to move out of her 5-bedroom house. Her kids were getting to an age where they were aging out, moving out of the house, and all of this stuff that she was grateful for started to disappear in her life.
And then she wonders who she is.
And then she started to wonder who she is.
Yeah. And what is the purpose of life? And we see it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that we have a chance to help those kind of people. And it's not because we know better than them. That's why the life coaching label drives us crazy. But when we help them understand.
How many times have you learned from a client?
All the time.
Every client. You learn so much from the people you spend time with.
Especially when they wake up to the same thing and insight hits them and they share wisdom and insight or understanding. You're like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of Black Sheep, a community of sheep that are like-minded, not in all being sheeple and being brainwashed by society, but by being in the same place of their love, to come together and be like, here's the insights that I've created through my own experience. Not from a book, not from a podcast. We share this with you to prime you and help you understand our work, but you are the gift. You're the opportunity to heal your life. Something inside of you that might be sleeping is awake inside of us. That thing can wake up inside of you too, and you can change lives just by being you.
Which is why we want you to share this with others, because like Morgan said, it's about community. We want to create a community of people that are able to support each other. And then when you start to go through times when you're suffering, you guys can help each other, and it doesn't fall on us.
Yeah. We can't save them all, and with your help, we can save a lot more. So we appreciate everyone who listens to this podcast, anyone who's ever helped Black Sheep Thinking get off the ground. We have so much gratitude for the fact that you're part of our lives and you're part of that community with us. We're hoping we can help more this year, and we can't do it without you. Yeah. So, on episode 20, are we getting close to time?
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left.
That's perfect. So, on episode 20, as we shift into a different format, and we're done YouTube, which is great because I was running out of socks.
I was thinking, when I picked these out tonight, I'm like, have I worn these before? I don't know if I should wear these or not.
But it's such a beautiful journey, and so thank you so much for those who have been watching, like I said, and we look forward to continuing to do the podcast with you and helping other people come in and share their perspectives so you can hear about our community. And I think that's one of the reasons we're shifting is you'll see us again, you'll hear us again in a very similar format that we're doing now, but we're really looking to shift it up and change it up for you now.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see us. We're going to be doing different things on YouTube.
Yeah. Somewhere where we have to worry less about our socks, maybe.
We'll be wearing shoes.
So, do you have anything else?
No, I guess just, the same old stuff. Like, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell all your friends, share, build, and let's help us build the community of Black Sheep Thinking and this understanding, and
spend time with yourself, getting to know yourself, because that's the only relationship that matters. So we hope that you connect with the real truth of who you are, not your story. And if you have a hard time with it, we'd love to hear more from you. If there's any topic you want us to cover, we could really appreciate some insights between our anniversary episodes of 25, 30, 35, 40 when we hear.
And if this podcast or YouTube channel, whatever you're watching this on, has made a difference in your life, and you want to come be on the podcast and be interviewed, reach out to us.
We love that.
That would be amazing.
Great idea, Andrew.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
We'll see you together on episode 25, I guess.
Yeah.
Enjoy. I'll miss you, man.
Love you, dude.
Much love. See you guys.
Much love.
Bye.